So guys, 5 years ago, gamers were introduced to the landmark sandbox medieval combat simulator Blade and Sorcery that still to this day serves as one of VR's greatest accomplishments. Whether it's bringing that adrenaline rush inducing hand-to-hand combat to life in a fantastic medieval setting, the nice balance between realism and the arcade-ish-ness of this one's various spells, or the absolutely stunning physics in this one provided courtesy of the dev team over at Warpfrog, Blade and Sorcery has been a beaming light of excellence in the admittedly sometimes dark world of VR gaming. And finally folks, the wait is over as 1.0 is here with a brand new campaign mode to boot. Welcome to the simulation inside the simulation. I am Tooodamngolden, your VR Voyager. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Blade and Sorcery's brand new Crystal Hunt story mode and letting you guys know if this is something you should play, buy today, or stay away from altogether. So by now you've probably pretty much all heard of the Warpfrog developed combat sim Blade and Sorcery, so I won't go into too much detail about the background of this one, but essentially you are dropped into a sandbox medieval combat extravaganza that focuses very heavily on providing some of the strongest VR physics that the space has to offer, as players will slash, hook, shoot, and strike down enemies in one of the seemingly endless number of ways at your disposal. Now, up until now, admittedly, my two biggest critiques on this one were the early access status and the distinct lack of any type of cohesive storyline, as I feel that there are far too many sim-like titles, especially in the VR space, and also way too many games that stay in early access, not really to add anything else. And for me, that ain't cutting it. But cue Blade and Sorcery 1.0 and its brand new Crystal Hunt campaign, which sees gamers on a quest to outduel and outmaneuver opposing factions as they hunt for various mythical shards scattered throughout the lands. So essentially, Crystal Hunt provides gamers Warpfrog's take on a campaign/progression mode as you begin your journey as a powerless and weak outsider looking to make a name for themselves in a very visually appealing medieval environment. And truthfully, this really is a nice fun addition to Blade and Sorcery, which has always held a special place in the VR community for not only its stellar combat, which you'll be happy to know is still present and better than ever, but also for pushing the boundaries on what VR physics can and should be. Now, I must say, for those of you who are looking for the next big epic RPG adventure, this may leave you a bit disappointed then, as this one is more akin to the less hand-holding narratives that fans of the Dark Souls franchise have come to know and love, with the narrative in this one playing out via a series of notes found while progressing, as well as other bits of lore to be discovered throughout, and a few plot instances that are probably and honestly designed to provide your hero just a little more purpose to continue along their journey. The primary gameplay loop in this one revolves around clearing out various enemy outposts and levels to acquire both currency and goods to sell in order to purchase better, higher quality weapons for future runs. And these better weapons, guys, add to the main draw of Blade and Sorcery, the absolutely amazing physics-driven combat chock full of all the gore you could ever want. And for those of you who are interested in figuring out what the changes to Magic in 1.0 story mode were, basically they are spells and powers are attained via the collection of crystals that serve as a catalyst to unlocking a wide range of spell sets and the host of new abilities added specifically for the Crystal Hunt mode. And this is a nice touch in my opinion that again provides incentive to the player to continue along and make those early instances all the more exciting, folks, as you only have a few crude weapons at your disposal to take down hordes of enemies, only adding to the stakes.
Trump steaks are the world's greatest steaks. Trump steaks, 5-star gourmet.
Now, all of these spells and incentives are nice and all, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that while this is the nice beginning of what can be considered to be somewhat of a story mode, there are a lot of tried and true fantasy plot cliches to be had. And while immensely fun and definitely something that is enjoyable for its entire 7-hour runtime, this again by no means is any type of groundbreaking, earth-shattering narrative journey. But guys, Don't let that little bit dissuade you from grabbing this amazing game if you haven't already done so, as the addition of new enemies, lore, and weapons in tandem with the amazing combat itself add only more to what was already considered one of VR's best games and what some would call its best display of physics, and it has ratcheted up the immersion and depth with this one. And if you don't already have Blade and Sorcery, guys, stop what you're doing and buy this game today. You will absolutely thank me later, much like I just want to take this second to thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys have been showing the channel as of late. It really does mean a lot for me. So as always, if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It really does help the channel out. As always, I am Tooodamngolden, your VR Voyager, and thanks for joining me in the simulation inside the simulation.